Saludos a todos. Greetings, everyone. I say hello while sporting my sombrero costeño colombiano. It's a visual and iconic symbol of my family's culture of origin, Colombia, our history, our language, Spanish, and symbolic of an art form and dance rhythm known as cumbia. Now, what is cumbia? Cumbia is a rhythm and musical art form that came together during a very tumultuous time. It was the colonial period, and it involved a violent clash of cultures. White European settlers, the enslaved peoples of Africa, and the indigenous peoples coming together against their will. As a result, or despite this abusive and violent time period, this beautiful art form came to be, which involved the fusion of these cultures and its instrumentation, its rhythms, its composition, and it's a legacy we hold today. And fortunately, something as far as this rhythm, cumbia, that we're very proud of. Now, why do I mention that? This idea of good triumphing over evil and goodness stemming from suffering is our resurrection story as Christians. Other faith traditions and non-religious backgrounds hold this as well. The belief that good can always triumph over evil and suffering, and the belief in the inherent goodness of all people. In the midst of this current crisis and the fear and uncertainty that's enveloping all of us, fortunately, we're seeing very significant examples and demonstrating examples of compassion within our households and our families. Spending more time together, striving to be kind to each other is one place to start. Checking in on elderly neighbors, those folks that we don't normally have contact with, vulnerable populations, and making sure they're okay while maintaining safe social distancing. There's organizations where volunteers and groups are mobilizing to deliver meals and resources to vulnerable populations, the elderly, the homeless. Many folks are getting involved with that as well. This is all compassion in action, and it's a wonderful thing and necessary during this time. Another group of neighbors that I'd like to highlight who could really use our help is our Asian communities, our Asian American communities. Unfortunately, during this time of fear, they're being targeted. They're continuing to be targeted in ways that are cruel and unfair, simply because there's this mistaken notion that they're to blame for this crisis, for this virus, and that certainly isn't true. All of us are after the same things: respect, security, safety for our families, and no one should have to fear stepping out of their home to get necessary resources to help others because they'll be attacked based on their appearance. And that's the case during any crisis or any time of normalcy. We should never do that. We know the right thing we have to do to treat each other with respect and acceptance, as people with faith and just as inherently good people, regardless of our beliefs. If for some reason you happen to witness this at a public space, a grocery store, I encourage you, all of us, to try to intervene safely if possible. Direct intervention is one way, something as simple as saying, hey, that person is a human being, leave them alone. If it's not safe to do that, we can cause distraction, something to distract the perpetrator. And if that's not an option either, we can always reach out to someone who can help us and in some way support the person who's being targeted. Say, hey, listen, are you okay? All different ways to show compassion, to show the good people that we are. Despite the circumstances, we always have the ability to choose our behavior and to act accordingly in the way that we know is most authentic, most giving, and most compassionate. In those moments where we may feel frustration, or you may feel frustration and say, God, what is going on here? I don't see any hope. I don't see people acting with compassion. We've got you. We as friars are professionals when it comes to prayer, and that means that we are called to do it and promise to do it no matter what. So we are praying for all of you. We care about you. So please remember that. Blessings to you and your families. Que nuestro Señor los bendiga y los acompañe siempre.